to our attorney's team, and she, instead of deleting the messages, she just hid them. So apparently she didn't know how to use Excel, and we were able to unhide them and show these messages to the public. So I'm hoping when we get to discovery phase, the American public gets to see what the government does to people protest.
We all heard stories. I've only got a little over a minute left here, but we all heard stories about you, and that evidence was used that may have been in an email inbox that wasn't even opened, and you were kept from using exculpatory evidence by the government. Are those facts the truth? I mean, that's what I believe.
Yes, the way that they tried to indict me multiple times and unsuccessfully. And the last time they got a document that was sent to me that was never opened, and their own forensics team admits that it was never opened. But one thing, they said that in our open trial, they did not say that to the grand jury. They just showed the grand jury the files on my phone. They're like, look, this is what he had on his phone. Yes, when you send somebody something, they're on the phone. But I never opened it. I never distributed it. I never edited that document. The only thing it shows is that it was unread. Yes, we got even more exculpatory evidence after my sentencing that the government hid from us. So this justice system that you were taught about in grade school with the even scales of justice doesn't exist.
And that we have to work really hard to make a correction in that, my friend. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I could go for hours with you. I apologize, but it's only a 1 hour show. You can join us in the space afterwards. The X space will still be up if you'd like to, folks, and I'll be over there to answer questions too. Enrique, Tarrio, where can folks find you real quick?
You can find me. It's right here on the lower thirds. It is at Noble Noble One, spelled out ONE, at Noble One, and that's on Twitter. You could also go find me on Telegram, Noble Leader. And those are the only two methods right now that I have for social media, because Facebook and Instagram do not allow me on there.
All right, we need to fix that too, my friend. We need to fix that too, and I'll get you back sometime. We can talk some more and do another show on this thing. Well, folks, I'll see you on Monday. It's More Monday. We'll be talking about Iran, and we're at high risk right now of getting drawn into another war in the Middle East. The president ran against it. We are demanding that we go to the ends of the earth to resolve this issue peacefully, and we don't want even our ally, Israel, to drag us in to anything that's going to go nuclear. But that's for Monday. I'll see you then. Be careful on Saturday. It's a happy birthday to the United States Army, and respect your flag day.
All right, everybody, that wraps up the Rob Maness Show live right here on X Nation and World YouTube. He is staying. Hopefully, Enrique, we'll see him on the stage here shortly. And boy, this has been a heck of a conversation, huh?
Michelle, I texted him the link.
Oh, he had the link, honey. He's been sharing it. But thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, can you take over the conversation for a minute until the Colonel gets back? I got a tinkle and it's getting serious.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tinkle Bell.
Great show, Colonel. I mean, I knew it would be,
Thanks.
but
Sorry, I didn't get to that hand. I'm sorry. Did you hear me?
now I can.
Yeah, my phone rings.
Don't you just hate when that happens?
Yeah, I hate when it happens because it happens to me 24/7 when I'm on a Spaces, a live chat, whatever it is. It happened to me right during the show, right in between a segment.
Oh yeah, yeah. My youngest son, put a do not disturb in the block of time but it ends right at 4:00 Eastern. So sometimes when I'm talking in these, the phone rings, and I don't know how to change it.
Oh man, good show, Rob. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming in, man. Like I was serious. We could do a whole nother show continuing to talk about the story and the history part. I think it's important. It's just important. We got to tell these stories over and over again. Get the facts and the truth out.
Yeah, you can have me. You can have me back on whenever you want, man.
Bet, brother. Bet.
Enrique, I got a question for you. I wanted to ask it during the show, so the rest of the audience could hear it. But you have quite the negative view of the Proud Boys throughout the country, and I was wondering what, if anything, is your organization doing to maybe make that a little better view of the Proud Boys?
I guess this is a easy question for me because I always get asked this. Actually, the answer is nothing. I'm not trying to appease anybody. If they don't like the Proud Boys, I don't expect that I can say anything to make them like us. We're going to continue being us, and unapologetically, we don't try to appease anybody. Look, and Rob can tell you. Um, I we have a big organization, and I don't expect everybody to like every person in our organization. As a matter of fact, I don't like everybody in our organization. It's a brotherhood, so at the end of the day, we do solve our issues internally. We try not to let it spill over into the public, and I don't try to do PR for the Proud Boys. I just get the message out, and if people like it, they like it. And I believe there's a very, very, very small sliver of Americans that have not made a decision on who the Proud Boys are. And maybe I reach out to those every once in a while, but there's some elements of the conservative movement that doesn't like us and still doesn't like us, and they'll never like us. Um, so
I
for
have that
us,
same problem, Enrique. I have that same problem.
yeah, and do I try? One thing I do is, do I try to talk to those people that dislike us? So, and then explain who I am sometimes to them. That conversation always goes the same way. They still don't like us after the fact. But if you're uninformed of who the Proud Boys are, and you do hear me in there, and you're like, oh well, the media told me this, but this guy says that, then it's up to them to make their decision. So I try to go live as much as possible, try to do as many spaces as possible, but I'm not trying to appease anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on a book, and yeah, one of the chapters is all about never apologize. I totally agree with that, Enrique. I mean, there's nothing to apologize for, number one, but even if there was on the off chance, never apologize to these people. They don't deserve an apology. They deserve to be mocked and ridiculed because of the things they do and the ideas that they believe in my opinion. That's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that, Colonel. Because when you do your first degree in membership, we make you recite pretty much our oath, and within that oath is we refuse to apologize, and that you want to become a member, that's what you got to do. You got to refuse to apologize for things, and refuse to apologize, for being you. Obviously, like, our goal is to make better men, so we try to make our members and our brothers better. And we try to do that through multiple. I'm not a perfect person. I've made a lot of mistakes. As when I was the chairman of the Proud Boys, I made a ton of mistakes. I didn't ask to be the chairman of the Proud Boys. As a matter of fact, I was the first one against even having the position of chairman within the Proud Boys, and I end up in this position right now. And we're all trying to be better people, but you don't
Mhm.
have to apologize for who you are.
I am a
Enrique, I
Western
have
chauvinist, and I refuse to apologize for creating the modern world.
Oh, it's Patriot Rob.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, brother.
Enrique, I have a question from my DMs. Somebody asked if you and I believe Gavin have mended fences.
Uh, no, we have not, because we haven't actually needed ever to mend fences. Me and Gavin are very different people, but we've always gotten along. We've always had conversations with each other, but there's never ever been a fallout between me and Gavin. Actually, I was with him 3 weeks ago down here in Miami, and even before my incarceration, we've met up multiple times. We call each other all the time. He gives me his advice. I I throw his advice down the toilet most of the time, and but no, we've never even actually gotten into an argument.
Well, that settles that.
Does he disagree with some of, like, the things that I did? Yes. Do I agree with him now looking back? Yes. But we've never had that. We're Gavin's a brother. Gavin, like Rob, Rob's a brother. So we'll have our arguments, and I've had arguments with other brothers, but Gavin, I can't include Gavin in that because we haven't argued about anything.
That's like a leftist tactic, isn't it? Because you're part of a group, even an informal one, you have to agree with every idiotic thing that some idiot in the group says. I'm not saying Gavin's an idiot. I love the man like a brother, even though I've only met him once too in person. But I mean, his views are what created the Proud Boys, but those views are very straightforward. Very straightforward. I should have played the creation clip because I came across it in my research for the show, but I decided not.
We were actually since inception. We've been on what we call a constant civil war with each other, and that's actually in another group that's a lot more structured than ours. Would be detrimental to that group. With us, it actually makes us a lot stronger. And and I got to say this, like being in the Proud Boys, prepared me for the 3 years that I did in prison because my own brothers are very good at insulting people. And we fling insults at each other all the time. As a matter of fact, at our I'm going to call it annual convention, our main event, there's no way that in the past, we're about to hit our 10-year anniversary. So the past 9 main events always have either a boxing ring, an octagon, or some type of ring so we can put some gloves on and settle our differences. But I think like I said, other organizations wouldn't have survived. Because I say this, like nothing against the Oath Keepers at all. Stuart ran an amazing organization, but it's very rigid and very structured, where ours is very loose. And I'd say like his was like 80% organization, 20% ideology, where the Proud Boys are about 60 to 70% ideology, and the rest is organization. Other people take what we do a lot more seriously than we do. We have fun with it. It's a drinking club at the end of the day.
It's a drinking club with a patriot problem.
Exactly.
And you've probably heard this phrase many times. What doesn't kill you makes you better. Suck it
Amen
up,
to that.
Buttercup.
Amen to that. So I didn't finish this thought, but when I went to prison,